most tournaments of this size end up taking place in either like the tri-state area, California, or Florida. But Michigan isn't really super close. Like all of the West Coast had to fly out, Florida had to fly up, and I'm pretty sure even the East Coast, like the New York tri-state area, they all flew out here too. So the fact that everybody's coming to a region that none of their top players are in like the top 20 right now, I don't think. The tournament has built such a reputation that everyone's willing to come out. I think says something a lot about Big House and just Juggle Guy as a TO in general.
So far it's ran so nicely. Everything's been on time, and it's been good so far. And apparently it's cold outside, but I haven't gone outside, so it hasn't been an issue.
If Armada doesn't get top 3, that's huge news this tournament.
I think Leffen was his biggest threat, and so because with Leffen gone, I think Armada has an upper edge on everybody else.
The bigger the tournament, the more likely upsets are to happen, and I think crazy stuff's going to happen. That's the fun thing is I can predict whatever I want, but it doesn't matter the size of the tournament. I can predict whatever, and Meteor might as well strike the venue for all the as good as my chances are of predicting it.
Could you talk a little bit about what burnout feels like for a player?
Yeah, I can tell you what burnout feels like. I can definitely answer that question. Burnout, there's a couple of different ways it can happen. Because it can be stuff related to the game, not related to the game. Usually what kind of happens is everything hits you at once, so you have a bad performance, and then maybe something's going wrong in your personal life, and then maybe you just been winning a little bit, so you were slacking off, or maybe you're in some other life transition, like you're moving to a new place, and it can feel overwhelming, especially because maybe if you haven't been taking as good a care of yourself, then you also physically feel like you can't rise to the challenge of everything you have to do. You feel obligations and you're supposed to rise to them, but it feels like such a tremendous effort to even begin doing anything, to even start making a plan, that it just feels better to not even deal with it. And in a way it is it can be a temporary, or it can be a start to depression. That's what it kind of I made it sound like that, but that is kind of what it's like. You just lose all your energy. Looking at how the players have changed this year, I wouldn't say they've all improved. I think some of them have actually slipped or just about stayed the same. Because we've done just go to everything, that's the only way you're gonna make it as a top player for so long. I think that might be catching up to everyone, or maybe something else is going on, the new stardom. Everyone doesn't really know how to keep themselves working hard because of that. There's something going on, but at any rate, the level of play has been all over the place for everyone. There have been some really sloppy grand finals, there have been some okay grand finals, there have been some pretty good grand finals, but the pretty good ones are more rare than the other two, unfortunately. The level of play in terms of execution is not what even it was during the summer of last year, and I'm hoping that at least I can do my part to help everyone change that soon.
I'm Leffen for this event?
Yeah.
Oh, then I should shit talk people more. Everyone's trash. I was just not playing well. You all suck. I didn't flip you off, but maybe I should have. I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's weird because this was supposed to be like our super national, like the first big one where everyone came back and everyone was competing. It was going to be like, it was basically the next hype, or kind of, I guess the end of the summer of Smash would be this tournament, the one where everybody made sure to go out to, and everyone tried their hardest. Not just the top 5 or 6 players, but down to the next 20, 30, 40 players. Like everyone knew that Big House was the tournament to go to this year, so everyone tried to come out. So I guess Leffen not being here, it does kind of make the dynamic of the top 5 really interesting, because his last couple performances weren't the greatest, but then before that he was winning everything. So if this was the one tournament he was going to be able to try out and do well.
To be fair, I would have honestly put Armada #1 this year if we were to look at all of 2015. But the fact that Leffen's probably not going to have an opportunity, I think it's tragic that that situation has happened, and I'm aware that visa issues are very prevalent in other esports. So hopefully down the line, we get the respect that the whole industry deserves.
Once he found out, or once he got, I don't know, we call it deported, or he's been calling it deported, whatever, I'm turned away at the border, I guess. He started tweeting out a lot of things like how it sucks that he lost a lot of prize money and possibly #1 for 2015, and also that he's never going to come to the US to compete again, which that last part's just over dramatic, because we know you're going to get a visa, you'll be fine, like he needs to calm down. But that second one's actually the most interesting point I think that he brought up, because money's whatever, But like number one of 2015, he's kind of right in the fact that there's no more big tournaments for the rest of the year. Considering he wasn't number one on the summer rankings, there's a very, very strong chance he won't be number one now on the year rankings.
I think it's funny. And I wanted to play him really bad because I haven't played him in a while, and he beat me the last time we played, so I really wanted to play him. It's definitely unfortunate that he couldn't make it, but I also think it's funny at the same time. So, but it's unfortunate. I wish he was here for sure.
The talent here is still so obvious that I think people are finally like starting to forget about the idea that Leffen could have been here, but this is still like such a huge deal. Everyone's still about their A game, you know. People aren't treating it any less like they would. Armada's still here, right? If both Armada and Leffen didn't show up, that changes everything. But the fact that Armada's still here, it still is the Swedish top tier presence.
I think it's heartbreaking. I think it's absolutely miserable that he can't come. He said it himself on Twitter. He had the chance to cement himself as number one for 2015. This was a huge thing between him and Armada that could have been a big scale tipper for Leffen if he could have won it, especially if he beat Armada on his way to winning it. And I think it's just a shame that he loses out on that chance, maybe for the rest of the year, maybe longer. The hope's taken away right at the last minute, so you're expecting, you've trained, you've got the mindset, and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's miserable. It's awful, and just psychologically, it's just a really cruel situation, and I really hate it for him. I really hope it gets fixed soon. I wanted to talk about some of this online. I didn't think it was maybe the most appropriate time, but I imagine it's got to be super hard, and I feel really bad for him. I really hope that he can handle this, and I look forward to everything getting worked out, and hopefully he can come back soon. He's a great competitor.
Crew battles have kind of been a thing of the past for a while. The whole reason they got started in Smash was region pride. There was no big way to connect with people from outside regions. You'd play with your region, get really close to them, and then you'd start shit-talking all the other regions. Say, oh, we're better, no, we're better. Whereas nowadays, between all the tournaments, you can tell that, you can kind of tell where everyone falls in, and so it's less crazy.
And I think it's good that they had it at this event, because now it showed how hyped they can be, how much people care. So I think they're going to start mattering a lot more.
Turning the butter on his controller. Westball's, oh my God. His controller is begging for mercy.
That's right.
And Armada leaning so far forward that I can't even see his face.
Oh.
By taking your best players, the higher a pool that you take from them, the more accurate I think crew battle is. So we took 5, which is a pretty good number. You know, it just shows you the ability for a team to adapt to, I guess, diverse strategies.
No need to use me.
You're Falco.
Yeah, I'm not going in. Fox, maybe. You can't just put anyone in the anchor spot, because you pretty much, you know when you get sent out that that's it. This is like, you got to clean up. I love that pressure. That's why I think I performed pretty well in that spot.
The region pride is still there. There's like, oh, NorCal's talking about beating Florida, SoCal's talking about beating NorCal. We all talk about it, but until this event, there was no real like good way to actually have a true crew battle.
Oh, did you see Armada pop out of his chair?
Yeah.
Great play by Armada. He actually.
In terms of importance, I mean, crew battles I don't think have the same prestige that singles does. Maybe a little more than doubles, maybe not. But it's just it's good. It keeps the, sort of the power line in check. But even still, a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, SoCal wouldn't have won if Leffen was here, which I happen to agree with.
PBU wasn't able to come, and Leffen didn't come for Sweden, so it kind of hurt both crews.
You're not playing for yourself. You're actually not playing for yourself at all. You're playing for your team. So I like that pressure. It's like, all right, guys, I got you. Like, I'll carry you on my back. And then I love that feeling.
I think Grab the Ledge is going to do it. Oh, he gets the back air anyway. And now it's a tie game, 2 stocks apiece.
It's a tie game, but I feel like I don't feel like this is a tie game, right?
Oh, of course,
I'm not sitting here like, oh, okay, this is tied.
Forward smash, no, bad DI, jumps over the laser, not going to make it back. That's basically a 0 to death.
Yep.
Ice has got to make something big happen. He needs the grab. Good shine. Oh, but I feel like he just can't keep Mang0 off of him right now. Good spacing, but no.
Going for some crazy read. I think that is going to be it.
Yeah, outmaneuvered. Mang0 gets on his feet. Another crew battle taken home for SoCal. Mang0 putting on a show versus Ice. Takes 4 stocks, only losing 1. He took 2 stocks of Weedle, I believe, only losing 1. SoCal all together.
I always carry Hugo. National anthem playing in the background.
I always carry Hugo.
He
played so, he was so nervous.
In the celebration.
You know, be up easy instead. I know, right? I like it, be up easy instead. dude. You always get scared. Every time. He played so nervous, dude. He was nervous out of his mind, dude. What?
Liquid Hungrybox, an age-old rivalry. Hungrybox.
So I wouldn't really say that Mang0 has improved tremendously. His decision making has always been top notch. His mechanics have been pretty solid. I think it's just maintaining his consistency. And to be honest, I think in 2015 he's actually regressed a little bit because his play and even his basic technical abilities have kind of faltered.
Yeah.
Mang0. I mean, he said it best on Twitter. It's like, you bet on me if you're a gambler.
Uh-oh, that's a rest. Yeah. Mang0 tries to survive, does not.
With Mang0, you're never going to hear anything about frame data or frame advantage or what percentage something works at. He's a guy that will tell you, oh, yeah, this should work, but he won't be able to pinpoint the exact numbers.
Mang0 looking for the jab up smash. Wow, Stadium almost saving Hungrybox. This is Mang0's last.
It's nice to have support. I feel like when they're cheering for me, I don't want to let them down, so it's like, but at the same time, I tune it out too. Like sometimes people are cheering, I don't realize, I'm just playing like I said, when I get super in the zone, I'm not worried about what's happening. I'm just, focused really hard. Sometimes I get sometimes they're cheering for me and I start going way too crazy and like, I start doing stuff I shouldn't for the fans. But then I'm like, I'll die and I'm like, never mind, hold on. You guys gotta wait a bit.
Well, let's between stocks. Good up till, sure. He was definitely, oh, that's it.
Yeah. Hungrybox taking winners, semis over Mang0 3-1. Hungrybox moves on to play Armada in winners finals, and Mang0's going to drop down the losers bracket.
If we're going to compare Mang0 and Hungrybox and what drives them, I think fundamentally a lot of people, want respect in whatever means possible, whether it's through a relationship or the admiration of a crowd. People fundamentally want respect.
I like to clear my mind, because I always say when you're playing Melee, the only things that should matter are, you ever see the episode of SpongeBob where he needs to become a waiter? And Squidward's like, only thing you need to worry about is fine dining and like breathing. So it's like, those are the only things, Melee's kind of the same, where like before I play Melee, I'm just like, whatever's happening at home, whatever's here, like it doesn't matter. It's just Melee and breathing. It's like, this is it. And then when I get into that zone, that's when I'm at my best.
All right, last stock.
Nice. Yeah, Mang0 knows, when he gets tossed up on that platform, he actually, right there, he has to work, yeah. You can cover almost all the options with up air. Mang0's out, though.
Yes!
Wow, the read!
Mewtwo
read!
Oh, just gets the back air.
Yeah. I'd like to see a shorten or something to trick him up.
Yeah, that's going to be it. 3-0, Mang0 versus Mewtwo. Mewtwo's Marth looking so solid.
Yeah, absolutely on fire.
For Mang0, he's like a legend in his hometown. And so for people to respect Mang0 in a way of like your play style is amazing, like you're so awesome, I think that's the way like Mang0, feels validated in that regards. For Hungrybox, he's more of a guy that wants respect through what he has accomplished, not just in the sense of just Melee or as a person, but being college educated, having a nice engineering job. So fundamentally, they both want the same thing. They want respect, but the way that they feel is worthy of respect is very different.
Here we have game 2, right? I mean, Hungrybox had an early lead. I clearly don't like the strategy that he's been using. I mean, Armada is like...
Jeez, this is a clinic right now. I'm kind of speechless. I'm like,
he's making it so hard.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Did Armada just not fist bump? He did, right?
He did.
My problem is when judging a character's choice blends into judging a person's personality. And I think a bias against that, one way or another, does start to mold into the bias against the person.
It catches Mewtwo out of his double jump with a back air.
And I'm not the best person in the world by far. I can be pretty shitty at times, I get that. But I think anyone can. It's stressful. People have no idea, no clue how stressful it is. Fox players aren't as stressed because they think, my character's If I'm just playing well and I have hard mechanics, I can just go in and just play my absolute best. If I lose, it's fine.
Round, Armada was just up 3 stocks to 1. We said, you know, up throw rest, no big also another, oh my god.
Another pummel might
Any
have
top
done.
player, I guarantee you. I don't care what character they play. This game is stressful.
Oh my!
Yup, yeah, you gotta know.
You have to know. You have to know. Doable, but really hard.
Any little move, well, yeah, that's it. There it is. Didn't get the finish.
Ooh, big back air. Gets a follow-up, but nothing after that. Fox too far away, and the dash attack. Wow.
They were just cheering USA. Now they're cheating Armada.
And I gotta say, man, this tournament is looking pretty. Unless Armada blows it pretty hard, I don't know, dog.
The big problem right now is that rest is not available to Hungrybox. Like, Armada would have to miss the DI and die off the top. Because, you know, I mean, and
that's
Armada.
it. That is it. Armada taking both events at the Big House 5. Singles and doubles. There's a, I gotta say, a defeated Hungrybox, but definitely,
It was exactly Evo. It was exactly fucking Evo.
Mango again. He wrecked you winners, won the game 5 in grand.
It was all Evo. It was Evo all over again.
We need to get further. We need to go further.
But you did go further. You did get further though.
Neutral was a lot better.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever you did,
I should have won game 2.
whatever you did, what?
That rest on the.
Whatever you did on Grand Final worked a lot better.